Hello and welcome to Almost 30 Podcast, a podcast about spirituality, wellness, personal growth. We've been around for a while. We are OGs in the space, and my name is Krista Williams. I have another half to Almost 30, my best friend and co-host, Lindsay Simsick, and we like to do solo episodes. So I like to just sit down with y'all in the microphone in my beautiful studio at my house and just drop in. Almost 30 is a podcast that has amazing interviews from some of the best teachers, leaders, and facilitators in the business. We also like to have really deep, intimate chats between Lindsay and I as best friends. And then we like to do solo episodes. I like to just talk about things that are going on in my life, and hopefully I can shed some insight into things that relate to you, things that expand you, things that activate you, and just provide education, resources, or support for you and your process. There's this really beautiful concept that I've been learning about from C.S. Lewis, who is a Christian mystic. He wrote Chronicles of Narnia, but he also wrote a bunch of other works. And C.S. Lewis talks about this really cool concept called the chosen ones. And one aspect and element of the chosen ones is that you often go first. So the reason why I'm saying this is not just because I feel like I'm a chosen one, but because I feel like so many people that are listening are chosen ones too. And that means that you will be someone that goes through a lot of hard times and experiences and struggles quite a bit. But in the end, you become a teacher of that medicine. You become a teacher of that wisdom. And so in my process of teaching what I go through and teaching the things that I struggle with, my hope is that you can learn from my process. My hope is that you can glean some insight or wisdom from what I'm going through. My hope is that my pain and my process can become a part of the things that you learn from. Also, go check out Chosen Ones. It's actually a really dope concept that I can do a podcast on later because I just love C.S. Lewis. You guys never know what's in my earbuds. I'll say that. So for anyone that's new to the podcast, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here. We have 800 plus episodes for you. We have a second podcast called Morning Microdose that's really powerful. It's like a TikTok for podcasts. It's so good. Almost30.com, Almost 30 podcast on YouTube, Instagram, all the things. So my name's Krista. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I'm someone that has shared my process very vulnerably and openly. And one of the processes that I've been sharing is about dating. So I was in a relationship for 10 years. I've been in a relationship with someone since I was like 15, maybe 14. I've been in all long-term relationships in my life. And this is the first time in my life that I've ever dated or I've ever been single. So post that 10-year relationship, I was single for a year. And so I've been dating for about a year now. I would say a little over a year. And it has been such a freaking rocket ship of learning, such a journey, such a process, and it's been so much fun. And so what I want to say today is I want to talk about some things that I'm no longer available for in dating and things that I am available for in dating after spending a year in this dating portal and this dating process. There's been so much that I've learned, so much that I've processed, so much that I've experienced, and it's just been something that I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to go through, because it's just made me so much more clear on who I am, on what I want, and how I want to live. And it's just given me this opportunity of growth that I don't think I would have ever had being in that relationship. I had done so much growth. I mean, became who I was in that previous relationship. But now it's like these situationships, y'all. I mean, what? Do you want to see yourself clearly? Get into a situationship. They're going to show you what you need to do to clean up your boundaries, to clean up your self-worth, to check in on who you are and who you say you want to be. I mean, situationships are portals for growth if you want them to be. Anything that's painful, anything that gives us friction in life is a growth opportunity. So let me go through all the things after being in this dating process for a little over a year now, having a relationship in this year, having situationships, having people I just went on dates with, having lovers, all that. So the first things, I'm going to talk about what I'm no longer available for in dating. This came through very recently, and this first thing is making a meal out of a breadcrumb. Making a meal out of a breadcrumb. Okay, let me explain. So your girl does her thing. I'm at the gym. The gym is my spot. There is many gym men, many gym men that I'm just gym menning with. Some are my friends, some I kiki with. There's some hotties. There's one that is fine. I'm interested. And I have had conversations with him. We're kind of back and forth, da 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 da. And my friend was on the phone with me the other day and she's like, hey, is there anything happening with blah, blah, blah? And I was like, in my head, there really wasn't any updates. But I started to see myself pulling and trying to pull information that I could process and talk about when there was nothing really happening. Realistically, we had a conversation that day. The ball didn't move forward. We weren't going on a date. Nothing really happened except I had a conversation with a man. So here I was in my mind with my friend trying to be like, oh yeah. And then I noticed myself trying to be like, yeah, well, we talked today and he said this and I said this and then I left and he was like this. And it's like, no, nothing happened. I had a friend call me the other day. I was on the phone processing with a friend for a while and we were on the phone for around 2 hours. And it's helpful to have people in your life that can clearly show you not only patterns they're in, but also you're in. So I'm not judging this person because it showed me something about myself. But we were processing someone that was basically texting her once a week. Yep. No more than once a week. Maybe he's this, he's probably this, his parents are this. And, I know he grew up like this. And, part of his patterning is like this. But when we were together, this, and I'm like, if someone's just texting you once a week, there's nothing to process. If someone is just saying hi to you at the gym, there's nothing to process. And I am no longer drawing my energy or having my energy siphoned to spend hours on the phone with my friends processing something that isn't even happening. Oh yeah, he texted me and he said this and, it reminded me I was curious about this. And then I responded and he said, and and then he liked my photo, but it was crazy because I saw he followed a girl and then you guys, what are we doing here? Making meals out of breadcrumbs. These are breadcrumbs. Liking photos on Instagram, following you, having a conversation that leads nowhere. One text, sending you a spiritual meme is nothing. Do not spend your energy making a meal out of a breadcrumb. Your life force energy is being wasted. My life force energy has been wasted. I was sitting here the other day and I was like, I'm actually unavailable for this. I've spent too much time doing this. I have businesses to run. I have money to make. I have people to love. I have pets to pet. I have dogs to say hi to. I have flowers to smell. I have so much better things to do than be like, what did that text say? What does that mean? He texted me once this week. No. Don't care. Nope. No more making a meal out of a breadcrumb. Okay? That means at the very highest level, we are not processing nothing. You guys, this is me saying to myself, Krista, you can't be on the phone with your friends for 6 hours a day, okay? My part-time job is processing with my friends. It's really a problem. And it's not always guys, to be honest. It's actually guys 1/3 of the time. But when it is related to dating, I will process something till the cows come home and it's a waste of my time. I should be clear enough in the way that I'm acting and the way that I'm moving and what's being shown to me and what's showing up for me and confident in myself to not always need to process everything. Hey man, I don't need to process this one thing that they said or this one thing that they did or that one energy shift that we had on the date. No. I can just be like, hey, that is what it is. I'm moving on. So have more discernment and boundaries with yourself around this. Notice when you're in the unconscious loop of processing everything in your life until you die. It's like those memes. Oh, you took it so well. Thanks. I was on the phone with my friend for 28 hours processing the newest detail. Hey, I've been there. It's a waste of time. And it's honestly wasting your life force energy and preventing you from building the dream business, finding your purpose, finding the real relationship. The person that you're meant to be with, and I'm saying this without any real data or evidence, okay? So just trust me. The person you're meant to be with, you won't need to process everything with your friend. You won't need to send him every text. I said this every day. I said this the other day on my broadcast channel. I said, let me trust and believe that my husband will never have a text image sent to my friends because I'll never need to. I'll never need to wonder or guess or need help processing or reading or understanding or da 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 da.
Did you know that strength training during pregnancy can actually reduce your risk of gestational diabetes, give you more energy, and lead to a faster postnatal recovery? There's a lot of outdated misinformation when it comes to prenatal workouts, and that's why I am so grateful for Evlo Fitness's new groundbreaking prenatal program. I will be doing this program when I am pregnant next, and I've had a lot of friends who are pregnant right now, and I've gotten them on the tip of Evlo Fitness, and they have been loving it. It's super unique. The program was created by Dr. Shannon Ritchie, who he had on the podcast recently. She's a doctor of physical therapy and Evlo's founder and CEO. And while she was pregnant, she created this program. So the classes are literally taught by Dr. Shannon week by week as she goes through the exact stage of pregnancy you're in. So it is just incredible. You plug in your due date and the app will drop you into the right week with classes tailored to your exact pregnancy stage. It's so cool. It's a first of its kind program. I chatted with Dr. Shannon, as I mentioned on the show a few weeks ago, and she's pregnant with her second right now. And she shared that she's the strongest she's ever been. I really wish I had this during my first pregnancy. I will definitely do it during my second. A strength training program that was actually created for pregnant women. So if you're looking for science-backed, joint-safe, and truly effective workouts for maintaining and even building strength through all 3 trimesters without breaking your body down, Evlo is for you. You can try Evlo free for 6 weeks. Yes, please. It's incredible. Use code almost30trial at evlofitness.com. That's Evlo Fitness, EVLO fitness.com. Use the code almost30trial, almost30trial. Your body and your baby will thank you. Okay, so the truth is that as we age, our energy dips, our digestion gets slower, and sometimes it feels like our body just isn't keeping up the way it used to. Totally normal. It's not your imagination, but that's biology. So enter Pendulum's Metabolic Daily. This is a 4-in-1 daily probiotic that legit is changing the game for me. And a few of my friends, Krista is one of them. It's designed to support your gut, help metabolize sugars and carbs, enhance natural GLP-1 production, aka your body's own blood sugar regulator, and strengthen your immune system all in one. One of the secret weapons, a next-gen strain called Akkermansia. This strain is key for a balanced metabolism, but most of us don't have enough of it or any at all, and you can't get it from food. Metabolic Daily is one of the only products out there with live Akkermansia. Plus, it's formulated by scientists from Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and Berkeley. We love that nerdy probiotic team. Oh, and it's backed by preclinical studies and star Halle Berry. That's right, Halle Berry. She uses it too. If you're ready to feel more energized, more balanced, and more in sync with your body, give Pendulum a try. Go to pendulumlife.com and use the code almost30 for 20% off your first Pendulum membership order. So that's pendulumlife.com. That's pendulumlife.com and use code almost30 for 20% off. And if you're going to go to Amazon, you can go to amazon.com/pendulum and use code almost30 at checkout under the payment section for 20% off your first Pendulum subscription. So just click use a gift card voucher or promo code during checkout when you go to amazon.com/pendulum and pop in almost30, the code, and you'll get 20% off.
And so that is actually another thing that I'm no longer doing in dating. I'm no longer sending text conversations and screenshots to my friends. My subscriber channel on Instagram, hey, we don't know. My subbies, they get the tea. My subbies get all the tea. They know. They get the tea. They'll get a screenshot every once in a while for a teaching moment, for teaching. But in actuality, the relationship that I want to be in is not maiden energy. That's so maiden energy. That's so girl energy to be like, oh my God, he said this. And then what am I going to do about this? And oh my gosh, no. To be a wife and a woman that is in a deep committed partnership doesn't mean I'm sending screenshots to people. I actually don't even send images of the men, and I don't even say their names to people anymore. Because I'm like, until it's important, until it's relevant, until it's means something to me, I don't even need you guys to even know what's up. I'm going to move through this on my own and in my own process. And I don't need for every friend to know what he looks like, to know his name, to know his bank account number, to know where his parents are from, to read, to know everything he's telling me on text. Like, that's actually kind of inappropriate. And I wouldn't want someone to do that to me unless they're saying all good things, unless they're bragging about me. For real. For real. That's so fucked up. It's so true though. But it's like, let it just unfold naturally. Let it happen naturally. You're also really, really, really taking the magic away from it. You guys, oh my gosh, this is a secret. This is tea. But the more I've gotten ahead of myself, the more it's ended something that was meant to happen. This happened with a dude recently. Me and my boy, we're cruising. I got a little too ahead of myself. I started to think, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the whatever. He's this and this and this. And, didn't end up happening. I think because I got too emotionally invested and attached to the outcome rather than just enjoying the experience. So then energetically it shifted rather than me just being present, allowing what's meant to happen, staying in the present moment. This is so hard. I know. I'm not saying something that's easy. But the more you can stay unattached and present to the moment and curious and just say, oh, I would love to have this experience. That's it. Sounds good. I'm unattached. The better it will be. So I'm not sending text messages. I'm not sending screenshots. I'm not sending images to other people. I'm not having my 12 friends get all of the tea of every situation. I'm actually not processing as much with people as I was. At first it was so entertaining. I mean, part of the heartbreak of me stepping into a relationship is being afraid to not be the most entertaining person, because when you're going on dates with billionaires and athletes and you're freaking doing your thing and you have LA fuckboys to tell stories about, I mean, come on. It is entertainment. You are the life of the party. All the mamas with their babies are like, let me hear the tea, because it's entertaining. So it's having to let go of having that to talk about, having that entertainment, having that kiki, that gossip energy, having that to talk about. I'm kind of going to be grieving having this to talk about so much, but I know that there's a more mature texture. There's a more evolved texture, and there's a texture that wants to come through that doesn't involve me sharing every single detail of everything. And I'm not as bad as some people. Some of my friends, girl, shoot. But it's something I want to leave behind, something I'm no longer doing in dating. So I'm no longer making a meal of a breadcrumb. I'm no longer processing nothing and turning around things up, down, side to side for no reason. And I'm no longer sending text messages to others. And the last thing that I'm no longer doing is I'm no longer saying yes to something that's not a hell yes. So in dating, everyone's like, you should give it a shot. You should try it. You should go on a second date, see what happens. Not for me. I know right away. And if it's meant to be, it will stay around. But if not, it's a no for me. I was saying yes to so many maybes. And honestly, it was just confusing for them and keeping people around in a way that I felt I would change my opinion, but I have not yet had a situation where I changed my opinion and it was good. So I was keeping people around, not trusting my intuition because I was trusting what other people were saying, that I should give people a shot, when I know. This is the thing. I'm so intuitive. I'm so psychic. I know how my path is going to be as far as dating. I know that I will know. Whether it's knowing right away or knowing when it's happening, I know that I will know 100% in my body, 100%. I have no doubt. That's how I roll. I know he will know. And so I can trust that if I feel maybe, it's a no. I wasn't listening to my intuition. There was a situation where I was dating someone. I first met them and was like, and this is what I felt. Okay. And then they hit me up and they kind of had all the things to say. They were pretty smooth. I'm like, okay, but I'm still go on the date with them. And I'm like, they're persistent. My body is saying no, but I'm like, go on the second date. And I'm like, it's an amazing date. And then I'm like, And then all that to say, this man turns out to be unwell. He's such a fuckboy. He's unwell. An illness. This is an illness. Needs clinical support. Needs diagnosis. The texture of LA fuckboy is so intense. It's crazy. I could do a whole thing about that. But anyways, I knew the whole time and I wasn't listening. I wasn't trusting that. I was like, I thought the was like a maybe. And it's like a is a no. So now at this point, I went on a date recently and it was a beautiful date, an amazing man. He's going to be an amazing man to someone, like for real, quality. And it was just not a hell yes for me. And so I was like, you know what? I have to be honest. Like, I want you to have a hell yes and I want that too. And so I'm sending you so much love. Like, you're an amazing man. You're so quality. But I really want the hell yes. And that's my truth. I want the one that has no resistance for me, no hesitation for me. I've done enough healing. I know my yeses and I know my nos. So, there could be a point in your process where you don't know your nos or your yeses yet. That was me for so long. I didn't know what a true yes felt like in my body. I didn't know what a true no felt like in my body. And maybe that's the work here, is to find out what a true yes feels like in your body and what a true no feels like in your body. And then you can move forward. But at this point, I know, and I can trust my intuition. So I'm listening to my intuition immediately. How do I feel around this person? Do I feel safe? Do I feel connected? Do I feel seen? Like, what is the thing? Even the relationship that I was in, I knew the whole time that it wasn't, but I really enjoyed this person. And when I first met them, I had a I literally met them and I was like, I honestly, truthfully, I was like, this person is so hot. But I was like, And usually a for me is a karmic relationship. It's something that's going to teach me something. So it always ends up good. But it's something I'm not listening to. It's something I'm not paying attention to. So what I am available for in dating at this point is making everything a growth opportunity. Making every single thing a growth opportunity. And I know I sound like 5 a.m. bro culture when I say that. I'm like, make it all growth. Make it work for you. Use this for your growth advantage. But in life, I see everything for good. I see everything as opportunity. I see everything as a chance to know myself more deeply, love myself more deeply, be better, to flex my skills. An example and some of the ways in which I've really grown in this process is being able to speak my truth and being able to have hard conversations. So what I have mastered in this process is the breakup conversation. Whether that's first date, second date, letting them down easily, kindly, naturally, in a way that feels respectful of them, kind of them. I've never ghosted anybody. I've never not replied to anybody. I've always been kind and I've always been loving. And so I use that as a growth opportunity. How can I say no and be loving? How can I say no and be clear? How can I be discerning and still do it with love? How can I speak my truth and I'm honoring my yes and my no? That's a huge growth opportunity. So instead of seeing it like, oh my God, I have to say to let him down and I feel bad for him and this is so annoying, no. Great. I cannot wait to flex my muscle of discernment, of truth speaking, of expression, and of love to this person. In the breakup conversations that I've had in my relationships, the way that I run them now, because I had such a really beautiful experience in my divorce, having a really profound breakup conversation, but the way that I run them now is masterful, you guys. I should teach a mother effing masterclass. And do you guys want to know? The younger version of me in high school and in college, girl, the way I would have a breakup conversation is by cheating on you. I'm sorry. That was what I did. I was bad. I was bad news bears. I would cheat or I would start a new relationship or I would freak out or I would it was not good. I did not know how to communicate well. I did not know how to regulate. I did not know how to find my truth. I did not know how to have a healthy breakup conversation, have healthy conflict repair. And now so much of my life is about clear, honest conversation and staying in integrity. So going from someone that was just a whole lot of no idea how to do it, most of my exes from the younger years probably are wounded from me, to now being at a place, and I've been wounded. Don't get it twisted. I've been cheated on. I've been wronged. I've been all that. But to be at a point now where I'm a master at the breakup conversation, and the way that I run and operate them and what I'm really taking on to the next phase of my life is being able to have hard conversations with love and also use it for my growth. So an example, one that I had recently was like getting on the phone and just asking to lead. As a communicator, as a facilitator, as someone that is deeply in my heart, I just want to lead. Hey, can I lead this conversation? And it doesn't mean I'm in my masculine. It just means I'm in my truth and my heart. This is what I've gotten from this relationship. You have been so meaningful to me. You helped really open my heart. You showed me parts of me that I haven't seen before. I really loved how you communicated with me. I loved how you made me feel seen. I really love how you're so expressive. I love how you're so attentive. I love how you're so communicative. That's been so beautiful and beneficial to my life. And in this process, I've learned so much about myself, and I'd love to share a little bit about what I learned. I learned that I still go for men that are unavailable. I learned that I still go for men that I want to choose me. And I also learned that I still have wounding around my fear of commitment. And it's been so beautiful, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be with you, to learn all of those things. And I know now what I want in my next relationship, and I'm really thankful for this experience. And I do feel like this is the end of the road for us. And I feel like we've done what our souls came here to do. And I feel like I've gotten so much out of it. And I hope you've gotten so much out of it too. And I'm here to hold space for any reflections that you have. Boom. What I learned, what I noticed, what I grew through, what's the next step, what's the boundary, what's the space opening. And not only are you impressing that man and making him want more, by the way, if that's the intention, but you're also giving the universe clarity on what you're no longer available for and the lessons that you learned so that you can move on. So when I'm saying, I noticed I'm still going for unavailable men, I'm calling out to the universe that I'm no longer available for that. Hey, universe, I've learned my lesson. I no longer want unavailable men. Hey, universe, I usually go for men that I want to choose me. I'm no longer available for that. I'm seeing this pattern with consciousness, and I'm saying no to the experience in the future. So I'm really using each opportunity as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity to become more of who I came here to be, as an opportunity to learn about myself. In my last situation, all of those things I learned. I learned that I still go for men that are unavailable in some way. I learned that I go for men that have a lot of women around them because I want to be chosen. I learned that I cannot listen to my intuition because I knew from when I first met them, this wasn't it. I had another scenario where I learned that I hide so many aspects of myself because I'm afraid of being rejected for being too mystical, too spiritual, too deep. And that I prioritize play and banter and joking because I know that men love that. And I know that I can get accepted for that. And so in the past, I might first be unconscious with it, but secondly, feel like something was wrong with me. I'm like, oh, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep going for unavailable men? And now I'm like, great, I see the pattern. Cool. Let's cruise. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I am better. I'm bolder. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. Now I see the pattern. Now I can change it and shift it. What an absolute gift. Secondly, I make it all about what I'm learning about me. And this doesn't mean that I'm not present or holding space or, learning about a person, but I'm not making it all about learning about them. My old pattern was, I'm going to study this person like a fucking course. I'm going to understand everything about them. I'm going to understand everything about their life, their preferences, their dislikes, how they like my hair, da-da-da-da. Actually, now I'm using this container and this experience to learn about me. How do I act when I want connection? How do I act when I have chemistry in the room? What happens when someone has a different opinion about something important to me? What if someone doesn't have the same values? What do I do? Using all of this to come back home to yourself and your power. So everything becomes a learning about me and happens for my benefit to become more of who I came here to be. And if I am making this a learning about me, I'm only getting better. So it can seem selfish or like self-focused, but really if I'm like in a situation with someone as an example, and they're like, yeah, actually, I don't believe in God. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's a non-negotiable for me. But I'm sitting in this situation and I'm saying like, okay, that's cool. I respect that. And, maybe I don't need that. Maybe that's not important to me and that's cool. That's not true. So if I'm learning and dating though, I can learn like, actually, that's a non-negotiable for me. And actually, that is important to me. And it can be, you can have your opinions, but for me, that's important. So if I'm learning, then I can be coming to this situation, knowing my truth, knowing my values, and knowing that it's better to speak them than to just go along with it. And then a year down the road, we're like, wait a second, you don't believe in God? What? And that could be something that applies to you. So it could be one of your values, one of your things that's a non-negotiable. It is so much better to be in your truth and to learn through this process to become a better person for them and for you.
Have you noticed that fees are everywhere lately? Like you book a weekend rental and you have a cleaning fee. Buy concert tickets, there's a processing fee no one can explain. Even ordering delivery comes with a service charge. It's like we're getting nickel and dime just for living life. It's very annoying. And those fees feel especially frustrating when money's tight. That's why I love Chime. So with Chime, there are no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, and no minimum balance fees. It's basically banking that doesn't punish you for being a human trying to get ahead. Personally, I've had times where I was trying to stick to a budget and surprise bank fees totally threw me off. Chime gives me peace of mind. I know what's coming in, what's going out, and I'm not getting charged for just using my money. Banking shouldn't cost you money. And with Chime, it doesn't. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/almost30. That's chime.com/almost30.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Okay, I've always been someone who loves the idea of adventure. Like, give me a new trail to run or a random side street to wander down, and I'm totally in. But as a mom, I've also realized the real adventure is just getting out the door with enough energy to keep up with the day. And that's where having a go-to nourishing routine honestly has saved me. Enter Kachava, aka my not so secret weapon. It's a whole body meal shake that somehow manages to be packed with 85 plus superfoods and still tastes really good. I'm a chocolate girl though through and through, but sometimes I'll do the vanilla with almond milk or frozen banana and a little cinnamon. And it's like a fancy smoothie from a cafe without the $16 price tag, if you know what I mean. But what sold me, it's not just protein, though it has 25 grams of clean plant-based protein. It's also got fiber, adaptogens like maca, superfoods like sacha inchi, and even ingredients like goji berry and chia that I used to buy separately and never use, let's be honest. So I'm so happy they're in there. They're just all mixed in. I usually whip my own up with a quick breakfast or post-workout shake, and it actually fills me up without that weird powdery aftertaste I've had with other drinks. And I know you know what I mean. I feel focused, satisfied, and like I actually gave my body something it wants to say thank you for. So if you're playing curious but not fully vegan, no worries. Kachava is for everyone. Plus, they've got a love it guarantee, so it's risk-free to try. But I have a feeling you're going to get hooked. Fuel your day with Kachava. Go to kachava.com and use code almost30 for 15% off your next order. That's KACHAVA.com, code almost30 for 15% off. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQ Bar is the better for you plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. I brought a bunch of IQ bars with me the other day. I had a busy day. I had a few interviews. I had an event, and I just knew that I needed to make sure I was nourishing myself with food that I knew the ingredients were clean, were good for me, were great for my brain and my body, would satiate me, and were yummy. So I ended up having 2 IQ bars that day. I had one mid-morning and then mid-afternoon. It was just a great great interim snack. So these are plant protein bars. I like getting my protein in any way that I can. High quality ingredients, like I mentioned. And it's totally free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMO, and artificial sweeteners. And they come in 9 delicious flavors. My favorite is the banana nut, always and forever. But they have flavors like chocolate chip and chocolate sea salt, toasted coconut chip, lemon blueberry, peanut butter chip. They do it right. They're so delicious, so chewy. You're going to love the texture. If you don't believe me, there's over 25,000 5-star reviews and counting. So just know that. They also have hydration mixes and mushroom coffees in addition to their brain and body boosting bars. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text ALMOST, ALMOST, to 64,000. Text ALMOST to 64000. That's ALMOST to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
I'm available for using this process of dating to get very clear on what I'm looking for, on who I am, and what I want. And mostly the texture of how I want to feel. Every single man has shown me such a different, beautiful texture. Some of them are overlapping for sure. But the last one I was with, I was like, oh, I really love how you move in business. I love that you have a lot of friends and community. I love that you're really powerful. I love that you're really well-traveled. I love that you're, just freaking really, really masculine, like a very masculine texture. Cool. It's not everything. There's other things that weren't working for me, but it helped me to get clear on, ooh, these are things that I like. I want more of that. Another one was so deeply attuned, so emotional, so communicative, so present to process, so giving with compliments and love. And I loved that. I'm like, wow, that is clear that I want that. Thank you for allowing me to experience this. Please, sir, can I have another? I want more of this. So allowing each situation and each date even to allow you to get more and more clear about what you want from a person and about who you want to be. You could even be like meeting these people and like, wait, that's so dope that they're so complimentary. I want to be more complimentary to people. Whoa, that's crazy that they're ruthless with their boundaries. Ooh, that feels a little uncomfortable for me, but that's a growth opportunity. So allow this to be a process that helps you to get clear. Lastly, I'm noticing the fears that come up and I'm being with them. So in this last situation, a fear that came up for me was that he is going to find someone younger and more beautiful than me eventually. So this is someone that is not safe, period. But I have a fear that, and I think I'm in the LA haze, in the LA consciousness, which is so physically focused, and I can't say that I'm not impacted. But I have a fear of like being another shiny object, another woman coming around, someone being more beautiful, more magnetic, more radiant, and him just kind of like completely losing the plot and just going to this shiny object. And so in this relationship, I noticed this experience of having fear that my man would have shiny object syndrome and have, desire and interest for a lot of other women, or find someone that's younger or more beautiful or youthful or all the things. And so what we can do in this situation to make it work for us and to make it good for us is see that fear and learn to love ourselves through it. What is the part of me that believes that I have to be beautiful in this specific way to be loved? What is the part of me that believes that my man is not going to love me for who I am, but what I look like? What is the part of me that believes that physical attractiveness or beauty is the most important thing to a man? When I go a little bit deeper, I can think about the fact that I grew up in a household that really valued appearance, that men that I witnessed very much valued physical appearance, very much talked about physical appearance. So I can see where that would come from, and I can see where I got that understanding. And then I can love, honor, and accept that part of me, and I can honor that little girl. I can honor that aspect of me that has the misunderstanding that in order to be loved, I have to be this specific, physically beautiful. I have to be youthful and young, and I have to look all these ways. And I can really just love that part of me and let her know that she is loved no matter what. And that's where the real work is. So your dating experience will show you so many textures of you, will give you so much opportunity to grow and evolve and shift if you take them. If you want the deepest spiritual work you'll find it in relationship. This is how we grow and evolve. And this is when our mirrors show us who we are and where we are. So what I'm available for is I'm available for making it about growth. I'm available for learning about me in the process. I'm available for getting clear. And I'm available for noticing the fears and clearing them through the process. So again, the process of noticing the fears is getting conscious to the beliefs that are coming up. Writing them down is really, really helpful. Forgiving ourselves for the misunderstanding of those beliefs, because that is not true. It is not, none of those are true. And then doing parts work potentially, or getting clear on the aspect of you or the part of you or that little girl or little boy that had that belief. And then you can help let that little girl or little boy know that they are loved no matter what. So using it as a portal, an opportunity for your growth and your healing and your wholeness. Like, who can't win? Like, this is all winning. We're all winning. And as a last thing in dating, what I also have been only available for is when people talk to me about dating, there's two things. When people talk to me about dating, they're like, how's dating? Do you love it? I heard it's horrible. I heard it sucks. Everyone hates it. And I'm like, I'm having the best time. Do you know why? Because I decide the time that I have. If you think some loser is going to determine whether or not I'm having fun in dating, whether or not I'm getting value in dating, whether or not I'm learning about myself in dating, whether or not I'm getting closer to God in dating, no, absolutely not. No one is getting that power over me. I decide how I feel about something. Dating is the best. I'm having so much fun because I decide that. I'm not letting the narrative online of dating is the worst, dating is so hard, there's no men available, whatever. You guys can choose to live in that reality if you want. None of my life that is good has been created from my decision to plug into the reality of the internet. I need to plug into the reality that I desire, not the reality that exists online. The reality that I desire is a desire of dating is the best. So that's what I choose. My beliefs shape and inform my reality. I believe dating is good. I believe men are good. I believe love is real. I believe union is real. Great. That is creating my reality. I've had the best situations, the best learnings, the best process with dating because that is my choice to see it as such. Have I had my heart broken? Yes. Have I been ghosted? Yes. That was so crazy and embarrassing. But I'm like, whatever. That's great. Great. Get that loser out of my field. Bye. Heartbreak, great. Now my heart is open. Like, it can always be good. And as a second thing, y'all, I don't watch dating things online. I consume no dating content. I am not allowing someone that does not know me, know my life, have no experience, I don't know how they're living or the proof that they have, to tell me how to run my romantic relationships. We need to be very mindful about who we're taking dating advice from. I'm not going to be having some random girl online that's like, da-da-da-da, you should be in your feminine, and then you're da-da-da-da, and she's like a loser. Or he's a loser. Like, no. What is going to work for me is going to be my own intuition, my own clarity, and my own truth. And I'm going to learn about myself in the process, not apply to a date something I learned about on a reel. Oh yeah, this is because he slipped in because I saw on the reel that he did that. Oh, I have to play this game because that's what I heard you have to do to get an avoidant man to like you. No, dog, no. No. Clear your psyche, clear your mind of this riffraff. What is the reality that you want? What are you available for? What are you not available for? Get clear on that and step into the dating portal of your dreams to enjoy yourself, to learn, to have experiences, or to find the person that you're meant to be here with. There is a beautiful opportunity on this planet. There is so much soulmate energy. There's so much union energy coming online. And right now we are actually recalibrating the templates for relationships now on the planet. Women have never had so much power. Women have never had so much resource. Women have never had so much agency. That is causing recalibration. The planet is causing recalibration. There is so much happening in the realm of relationships. And so right now, if you're single and you're dating, that's great. You are now coming into relationship with a sovereign person in a sovereign way, in a way that's empowered, in a way that's free, in a way that potentially has not been done before. I don't know about you, but I don't want my parents' relationship. No. I don't want the relationships that I've seen. What I'm creating and what I'm desiring has been seen very few. I have friends in my life that have it, but for a lot of people on the planet, they're not living in that. They're living in low grade unhappiness, misery, unfulfillment, untruth, unhonesty. What you want is different. What you want is powerful. What you want is true. What you want is authentic. What you want is real. And you will create that. You just have to claim it and choose it and have your beliefs shape and mold it. Okay? We are in this together. You and me, sister, are in this together, baby. And if you want more of my dating episodes, I just did one on avoidant attachment in dating and how I used parts work for dating. I also did one on modern dating for spiritual people. It's a really good one too. So you can search Dating Almost 30. There's really great episodes that we have on dating, sharing our process. And if you're interested to hang out with me a little bit more intimately, come to one of my retreats. So I host international retreats every single year, and they are so deep and luxurious and intimate and connected. And all the women that come to the retreats leave with their new best friends, their new family. They go on vacations, they go visit each other. You leave with people that feel and look and experience life like you, and you do such deep healing work to become the person you came here to be. So Switzerland in September, Ibiza in October, the 5-star resorts of Six Senses. Come hang, change your life, choose your new timeline with me. And thank you for allowing me to be so vulnerable and open. Thank you for being so truthful and honest with me in the DMs and throughout this entire process. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing this with a friend. You guys can kind of set your new standards and rules together. You can hold each other accountable, and you can support each other in this process. So I love you so deeply. I will see you on the next one of Almost 30. Thank you for tuning into Almost 30 podcast, subscribing, rating, and reviewing, and all of the things. I will see you soon. My name is Krista, and you can find me at It's Krista on Instagram. That's ITSKRISTA. And then you can find my retreats at itskrista.com. Okay, I love you so much. Bye-bye.